This one comes to us from Stealth. They said, according to the Seattle Times, Microsoft has laid off 15,000 plus employees in 2025 to free up spending for AI. And then when you reference that post from this Mark Turnbull, executive producer at Xbox Game Studios, talking about, challenging times. If you're navigating a layoff or even quietly preparing for one, use tools that engender strong feelings like ChatGPT or Copilot. Hey guys, why don't you use the ChatGPT that we are firing you for to replace you? Why don't you use that to try to recover from the emotional stress and trauma that we just put on your life? Investing heavily in AI infrastructure and products at the cost of everything else is proving popular amongst shareholders. Color me shocked. So people that want you to spend less on employees, but yet have the same or better output from the company are embracing AI. I'm completely blown away by this. I can't believe that that's what they're doing. Feel bad for Xbox devs. And this points to a Windows Central post right here. It says, report, Microsoft's 2025 layoffs revolve around its desperate $80 billion AI infrastructure investment. And again, it is curious that people that didn't get laid off from Microsoft are pushing AI on the people that did get laid off, saying, use this to make you feel better. The Redmond Giant has laid off over 15,000 people in 2025, and a report claims it's all in the name of freeing up spending money to invest more heavily in AI infrastructure to keep pace with the ever-growing AI bubble. Microsoft initiated yet another round of layoffs this week, impacting multiple organizations, including gaming, sales, and marketing. While people are focused mostly on Microsoft in general, I've noticed the gaming specific situation that was let go. This is massively impacting Xbox as a brand, to the point where I'm like, if it keeps up like this, Xbox might not even be around in the next 5 to 10 years. That's how fast it can fall apart. Just look at Sega, by the way. Over 9,000 employees were cut on top of the 6,000 that took place back in May. That means the Redmond Giant has laid off over 15,000 employees in 2025 alone, and it's all to fund more AI infrastructure. So when a company is telling you AI is not going to take your job, don't believe them. Because of course they're going to say that to you while you're working there, because they don't want you to stop working or leave. They are waiting for AI to take your job as soon as it's able to, because that would mean less expenses for them, especially publicly traded companies. According to a report from the Seattle Times, Microsoft is moving to reduce headcount to free up more capital for AI spending. Specifically, the company is looking to invest more money in AI infrastructure and technologies, and is making various cuts across many organizations and divisions to fund these efforts. Now, depending on how you look at the situation, you could say this is the most evil thing in the world to do, or you could look at this and say, that's just smart business. Get rid of these people. If you can use something that does exactly what they do to an equal amount or potentially even better for 1/1000th of the cost of that, why wouldn't you do that? It's pretty obvious, especially for a publicly traded company, to go that direction. I almost look at a situation like this, and Microsoft is a microcosm of what's happening right now in the greater world economy, that we're all focused on the gaming industry crashing. But if AI really does pick up to the level that people think it is, growing at an exponential rate, I almost wonder if people aren't taking seriously an economy crashing, because everyone's going to be losing their jobs to AI. and no one's going to have any income or money to spend on things because nobody will be working because they'll all be replaced by AI. And I'm not an economist, nor do I try to play one on YouTube, but something tells me that's not a great thing. And that could be pretty concerning for the long term success of humanity as a species on this planet. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy that likes to play video games. Microsoft's push into AI doesn't mean the company is replacing workers with the technology. Rather, the significant cost of building out the infrastructure over multiple years has Microsoft looking to trim costs where it can, the CL Time reports. Bullshit. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. Hey, we don't mean to replace you with AI, with technology. We just need to replace you with AI with technology. That said, a chunk of the roles had laid off in recent months were roles that could be aided by AI technology. Company has invested heavily in AI technology that can debug and write code and is reportedly planning to make AI use mandatory with checks to ensure this conducted in performance reviews. Isn't that funny? Where there are certain industries that are calling out the use of AI every time it gets the chance. And now we see the other side of the spectrum where there are companies now adding AI being used as mandatory and also being called out in performance reviews, the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Microsoft has announced it intends to spend $80 billion on AI infrastructure in the coming year to keep pace with the rest of the AI bubble. What could possibly go wrong? This is up 25 billion over the previous fiscal year. In recent weeks, reports have suggested that Microsoft and OpenAI's multi-billion-dollar partnership has become strained as both companies seek different things. Well, of course they seek different things. OpenAI wants to, as far as I understand, remain open source and out there available to use for everyone. Whereas Microsoft is always seeming to be the epicenter of DEI agenda pushing and the World Economic Forum pushing their lizard people stuff. And I'm only half joking when I say that because Microsoft seems to be pushing an activist agenda. So, of course, they're going to be butting heads with someone that wants to have something open source. It should be clear to anyone following Microsoft closely that the company has become AI crazed in the last 2 years. Since 2023, Microsoft has rushed to implement AI technology in as many products and services as it can, regardless of whether that technology is ready for mainstream use. Again, what could possibly go wrong? This is something that you almost look at the gaming division, specifically for a game like Perfect Dark that got canceled after being in development for supposedly 5 to 6 years minimum and was supposedly coming out in 2026 and got canceled outright. You almost wonder if Microsoft looks at that and says, well, we can cancel it and then we can wait a few years, bring in AI and just feed what we have into the AI and have AI just finish the game for us. And then we'll just sell it at that point. And it will be widely accepted by people at that point. So it'll be cool. People say, oh, we got a new game coming out. It's that game that was canceled. It's actually finished. And it's going to say finished by AI with a little asterisk at the bottom of it, but you can't see that because it's just digital anyway. That's a direction I could totally see them going. Gamer Nurse Gale says, I feel like there will be repercussions for letting AI in at some point in the future. I 100% agree. But at the same time, I hate to sound like Thanos. It's inevitable. Like it is coming. You can either embrace it or cry about it. But either way, it's going to be here. I choose to embrace it, but but that doesn't mean it doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? The recent layoffs amassing over 15,000 people come as Microsoft signs off one of its best years ever financially. The company soared ahead of Apple in market cap and is trailing NVIDIA as the most valuable company in the world, investing heavily in AI infrastructure and products at the cost of everything else is proving popular amongst shareholders. So, yeah, I can't say I necessarily blame Microsoft for pushing hard into the AI, but yikes, guys. The tidal wave shift, the pivot shift has happened. It happened July 2nd, 2025. This moment right here will go down in history. We'll be looking back 5 years from now at this moment, being like, remember when Microsoft did all those layoffs in 2025 and mass layoffs in Xbox division, and all those other companies were canceling games too, and everything was falling apart, and they were shifting all to AI. It's you just don't even need to read the tea leaves. It's right here. Like, just look at what's happening and be like, yep, AI is here, whether you want it to be or not. It's here. So yeah. Anyways, like I said, that was a quick one. I'll leave that one there. But I just thought it was funny because Microsoft being Microsoft, I guess.